Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we have a diverse range of stories to keep you informed and entertained. First up, Canada has introduced a new national security law that could lead to life imprisonment for anyone attempting to harm Canadian interests for foreign entities. Critics argue that the law is too vague and may suppress political commentary. Next, we turn to Hong Kong, where the government is drafting robust legislation to protect critical infrastructure from cyberattacks. This new law will require companies in sectors like banking and energy to prepare security plans and undergo regular audits. Lastly, a word of caution for adventurers: at least 5 people have died climbing Mount Fuji in Japan this season. The mountain's steep, rocky slopes are becoming increasingly crowded, raising concerns over safety and environmental damage. Please stay tuned for more details on these stories and much more. South China Morning Post. Canada's new security law, recently passed by Parliament and set to take effect next month, is raising eyebrows for its sweeping and vague terms. The legislation, which amends the Security of Information Act of 1985 and renames it the Foreign Interference and Security of Information Act, targets anyone acting under the direction of a foreign entity to harm Canadian interests. Offenders could face life imprisonment, and sentences for multiple offenses will be served consecutively, a departure from common law norms. The law's broad definitions and harsh penalties have sparked concerns about human rights and the potential criminalization of political commentary or academic discussions. With the geopolitical tensions between the West and China, including Hong Kong, this legislation could make political discourse even more perilous, as it appears to prioritize national security over individual freedoms. SCMP opinion. Hong Kong is grappling with a surge in cyberattacks, prompting urgent calls for robust legislation to protect critical infrastructure. Unlike other regions such as mainland China, Macau, Britain, Australia, and Singapore, Hong Kong currently lacks specific laws to safeguard essential computer systems. In response, the government has launched a 1-month consultation on legislative proposals aimed at enhancing cybersecurity for sectors like banking, transport, communications, and energy. The proposed law will mandate security management plans, annual risk assessments, and biennial audits for designated companies, with breaches resulting in fines up to 5 million Hong Kong dollars. While concerns about compliance costs and expertise acquisition persist, the legislation is deemed necessary to ensure the city's resilience against cyber threats. The government must also raise awareness among smaller enterprises and integrate these efforts into a broader cybersecurity strategy. SCMP opinion. The allure of hiking scenic trails like Japan's Mount Fuji comes with inherent risks, as tragically illustrated by recent fatalities, including a Hong Kong civil servant. The climbing season, running from July to September, had barely begun when 5 people perished on the slopes. The Hong Kong victim, who embarked on the Yoshida Trail with his wife, succumbed to health issues at high altitude. This incident underscores the importance of preparation and awareness of potential hazards such as altitude sickness, dehydration, and exhaustion. Veteran mountaineer Chung Kin Man advises hikers to consult doctors before tackling high-altitude climbs and to heed symptoms like headaches, nausea, or shortness of breath. The increasing popularity of Mount Fuji has led to overcrowding and environmental concerns, drawing parallels with the traffic jams and littering seen on Mount Everest. Proper preparation and respect for nature are essential for a safe and enjoyable hiking experience. Telegraph. Kim R-Kulai Walker, on the brink of turning 60, noticed her energy levels dropping and decided to try a longevity supplement after hearing Harvard professor David Sinclair extol the benefits of NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD+ levels, which decline with age, play a crucial role in converting food energy into a usable form and aiding cellular repair. Influencers and celebrities like Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner have popularized NAD+ through 4 infusions and supplements, though its benefits have mostly been proven in animal studies. Professor Ziegler from the University of Bergen highlights that NAD+ levels drop significantly after age 35, contributing to metabolic issues and mitochondrial dysfunction. While small human studies show promise, experts like Professor Joseph Bauer caution about the safety and long-term effects of NAD+ supplementation, urging more research and larger clinical trials. Despite mixed evidence, users like Arculai Walker report feeling more energetic, though she remains skeptical about its long-term efficacy. Bloomberg. Bitcoin experienced a significant dip, dropping to $53,602, but quickly rebounded as dip buyers poured in $737.5 million into 11 ETFs within 4 days, stabilizing it near $58,000. This pattern suggests a potential reduction in Bitcoin's volatility over time, driven by the increasing institutionalization of its ownership. ETFs from major firms like BlackRock and Fidelity have amassed about $51 billion in assets, representing over 4% of Bitcoin's supply. Experts like Richard Galvin and Charlie Morris argue that institutional investors introduce a stabilizing demand, akin to value buyers in the gold market. Despite this, Bitcoin's volatility remains higher than traditional assets, appealing to traders. The rise of Bitcoin ETFs has also improved market liquidity and aligned trading more closely with U.S. market hours. Lucia from Oros believes that the growing number of Bitcoin ETFs will continue to exert upward pressure on its price, gradually reducing volatility as the asset class expands. New York Times. 3 workers at a poultry farm in northeast Colorado have preliminarily tested positive for bird flu, H5N1, after culling infected birds, according to state health officials. The workers exhibited mild symptoms, such as conjunctivitis and respiratory issues. These cases are part of a broader outbreak affecting dairy cattle and have been sent to the CDC for confirmation. So far, 4 farm workers in the U.S. have contracted the virus, with previous cases in Texas and Michigan. All infections involve direct contact with infected animals, and there is no evidence of human-to-human transmission. The CDC maintains that the public risk is low but has dispatched a team to investigate the Colorado cases. The agency emphasizes the importance of personal protective equipment for farm workers, though it is not mandatory. H5N1, first identified in 1996, has led to a widespread outbreak affecting over 99 million birds in the U.S. and has also infected various mammals. Scientists are studying how the virus spreads among cows and other animals. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong is grappling with a severe shortage of doctors, exacerbated by an aging population. The city's doctor-to-population ratio has seen a slight increase over the past decade, but it remains insufficient to meet the growing demand. Universities like Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, CUST, and Polytechnic University are proposing the establishment of a 3rd medical school to alleviate this crisis. CUST, in collaboration with Imperial College London, aims to set up a medical school by mid-2027, emphasizing research and development. Meanwhile, Baptist University is exploring a unique school combining Western and traditional Chinese medicine. Expanding existing medical schools at the University of Hong Kong, HKU, and Chinese University of Hong Kong, CUHK, is also being considered, but resource constraints pose significant challenges. The government stresses that any new medical program must meet local standards and cater to Hong Kong's specific needs. South China Morning Post. HKU plans to launch a new graduate entry medicine program to address the ongoing doctor shortage and bolster Hong Kong's ambition to become a biomedical hub. The new 4-year program will fast-track the training of students with relevant undergraduate degrees, diversifying the medical profession and meeting urgent manpower needs. This move comes shortly after Gust's announcement of its plans for a new medical school in partnership with Imperial College London. HKU's program will integrate core content from the 6-year undergraduate curriculum and offer flexible preparatory courses, emphasizing clinical training and interdisciplinary research. The school is prepared to enhance its facilities and increase its annual intake of medical students from 295 to 400, pending approval from health authorities. The Health Bureau will consider various factors, including healthcare system needs, manpower projections, and resource availability, before approving any new medical programs. South China Morning Post: China's new giant panda college at China West Normal University in Sichuan is set to welcome its first cohort of students this autumn. This unique institute will offer a specialized curriculum in wildlife and nature reserve management, focusing on giant panda conservation. The 50 undergraduate students will gain practical experience in panda conservation, breeding, and disease prevention at national nature reserves. The college aims to cultivate professionals in wildlife protection over a 4 to 7 year study period. The initiative is part of China's long-term efforts in panda conservation, which have increased the wild panda population from about 1,100 in the 1980s to nearly 1,900 today. The giant panda, once classified as endangered, is now listed as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The institute's establishment also aligns with China's practice of panda diplomacy, where pandas are loaned to other countries to foster goodwill and strengthen diplomatic ties. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong's Chief Secretary for Administration, Eric Chan Kwok Ki, has compared the government's patriotic education efforts to the process of dating, emphasizing the need for Hong Kongers to understand their country before developing a sense of love and loyalty towards it. Speaking on a radio show, Chan highlighted various initiatives such as cultural exhibitions and markets selling mainland Chinese products to foster a better understanding of the country. He also mentioned that all 18 district councils had been instructed to organize National Day celebrations incorporating patriotic education elements. Chan argued that this softer approach would help citizens appreciate the country's achievements and improve their living standards. He also defended Hong Kong's human rights record and dismissed concerns from diplomats about the impact of national security laws on the business environment, questioning why business concerns were not raised during the unrest in 2019. South China Morning Post: This weekend, Hong Kong homebuyers eagerly purchased discounted flats at Pavilia Forest I, a project by New World Development and Far East Consortium in Kai Tak. By Saturday evening, 141 out of 198 units had been sold, with the project receiving over 3,700 orders from prospective buyers, making it nearly 18 times oversubscribed. The initial units, priced as low as 16,008 Hong Kong dollars per square foot, were offered at significant discounts compared to other new developments in the area. The strong demand reflects a broader trend of developers offering substantial discounts to attract buyers amid a sluggish housing market. Transactions in Hong Kong's property market have seen a decline, with overall property transactions falling 28.7% in June. However, the low pricing of Pavilia Forest I and new projects entering the market are expected to stimulate buying demand further. South China Morning Post: Hundreds of fans, including tourists from the Philippines, Japan, and the United States, gathered at Hong Kong's harborfront for the launch of the 100% Doraemon and Friends Tour exhibition. Eri Okawa and her friend Ryo Yoshino traveled from Japan specifically to see the installation featuring the iconic manga character Doraemon. The exhibition, which marks its first stop in Hong Kong, includes a ticketed zone inside K11 Musea and free entry areas along the Avenue of Stars with over 40 statues. Visitors, including Stephen Chan from the U.S., used the exhibition as an educational opportunity for their children. The event is expected to draw 200,000 to 300,000 visitors, boosting local retail and food industries. Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Kevin Yunhong highlighted the government's efforts to support the organizers with crowd control and communications, aiming to enhance Hong Kong's appeal through such mega events. South China Morning Post. All Hong Kong government departments are set to utilize a locally developed version of ChatGPT by the end of this year, following OpenAI's restriction of access to its API for the city and mainland China. Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Sun Dong announced this initiative, which aims to enhance the clerical system for civil servants and eventually extend its use to all residents. This new system, dubbed the Hong Kong version of ChatGPT, was created by the Hong Kong Generative AI Research and Development Center under InnoHK, in collaboration with several universities. Sun emphasized the necessity of extensive training and user feedback for the system's success. OpenAI's decision to block access from unsupported regions, including China, Hong Kong, and Macau, prompted this local development. Additionally, Hong Kong and mainland China have launched a pilot scheme to facilitate cross-border data transfers in the Greater Bay Area, aiming to streamline compliance with mainland data export regulations. South China Morning Post. The ongoing debate over regulating Uber and the ride-hailing industry in Hong Kong highlights the need for improvement in the taxi services. Despite government efforts to restrict Uber, the market's preference for the platform suggests a demand for better service standards in traditional taxis. Regular taxis are criticized for poor service quality, including unclean vehicles, drivers' lack of knowledge, and the absence of cash-free payment options. The call for higher fares, if tied to improved service standards, could benefit drivers rather than license holders. The market, if allowed to operate freely, could drive these improvements. Additionally, there are concerns about limiting the number of ride-hailing platforms, which could lead to collusion and price fixing. Greater regulation and higher standards for all platforms could enhance competition and service quality, benefiting both the public and taxi drivers. SCMP opinion. Hong Kong's tourism minister, Kevin Yunhong, has proposed leveraging the arrival of 2 new giant pandas to boost the local economy through a panda economy. Drawing inspiration from Chengdu, where pandas have significantly contributed to economic development, Young suggested that Hong Kong's catering and retail sectors could benefit from panda-themed initiatives. The pandas, a gift from Beijing, are expected to attract visitors to Ocean Park and stimulate related businesses. Young also mentioned the possibility of renaming the pandas to engage the public further. Previous attempts to encourage panda reproduction in Hong Kong were unsuccessful, but the new pair, having socialized more in Sichuan, might have better chances. The tourism minister emphasized that the pandas symbolize Beijing's care for Hong Kong, and efforts are underway to ensure their well-being and integration into the city. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Bridges flow, iron fist, cold streets, power resist, economy crush, lives that fall, traitors bleed, our cause. light, endless night, stubborn surge, shadows blend, rise of empires no end. Dragons roll, blood and steel, screams unheard, prophets real, immortals cold, monsters made, workers wait in the shade. Curse war, silent fight, cradles burn, like a night, rulers law, the ugly economic power, rule the sea. Curse war, silent fight, cradles burn, like a night, rulers law, the ugly workers fate in the shade. Curse war, silent fight, cradles burn, like a night. Through the spawn, the ugly economic power rules the sea. Contract signed, betrayals deep, backroom deals, folks asleep, and popsicle leads insatiable crime. In this mental wasteland,